Hey everyone, it's Lizzie from BudgetEssentialsCo.com, where we are helping people find freedom in their finances. And that just means something completely different for each person. Your freedom could be you want to save for an emergency fund, or you want to reach a debt freedom life. And so today I'm going to share our paycheck budget. If you don't know, we are now on a variable income, and it's been a bit challenging, I must say, for me to get adjusted to our new normal, which is a variable income, but I'm trying my best to make it work. It's going to change, I know, as the month progresses and as we get used to this variable income, but I hope that me just sharing our budget and how we break down our finances gives you a new perspective on how you can handle your finances and really make a plan so that way you can be successful in your budget. This is the paycheck budget worksheet that I am currently using. Yes, you can print it and put it in a notebook, but I am just using my iPad. I think it's so much easier and it allows for less clutter in my life. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom you guys in. That way you can see a lot better what I am writing. So this is the income that we had received for this particular payday. My husband, he did get paid, and so the total income that we received from this paycheck was $1697.87. And I love using this percentage formula. Now, you don't have to be so strict with it, but I really think that this is a good starting point. Basing your spending off of percentages, it at least gave me a number where I can base, okay, this is about how much we should be spending out. That way you can reach whatever goal that you have. So we have it broken down into 3 different categories. One of them is where the bulk of your money is going to go to, which is your expenses. The other is for any goal that you might have, and I have it written on the worksheet that it could be a debt payoff goal, any savings goal, you want to save for sinking funds, that sort of thing. So that could be your goal, and you can write in whatever percentage you have or you want to apply to that particular goal. Then the last one is giving, which in this case it's our tithe, and I have a fixed amount there for 10% because that is how much I would recommend giving. If you do give to your church or whatnot, you can do that. But as you see here on my percentage formula breakdown, I have it broken down by 70% going to expenses, and then the rest, which is 30%, is going to our goal, and then part going to our tithe. So we feel that we wanted to give a little bit more, and because we do now make a little bit more in income, we felt that it would be good for us to give above our tithe. So you're going to see that there is an added 5% on top of the standard tithe amount. So it's essentially 15% that's going to giving, and then the 15% is going to our goal. But if you have debt, I would recommend maybe starting with 80% going to your expenses, and then the 20% you can break it down from your tithe, and then any savings or debt payoff that you have if you have debt. And then with my worksheet, what makes this different than any other worksheet that I have seen is the importance of the giving. So we have this right below the income because that should be the first thing that you budget out for. Whether you are in debt, I recommend you still give your tithe. We did that throughout our debt freedom journey, and we were able to pay off our debt. Yes, we did something drastic. If you don't know what our debt freedom journey looked like and what happened, I'll make sure to link that video up above. That way you guys can check that out. So this is the giving section, 10%. So I've already calculated our percentages up top. So now I know, okay, we are going to give 10% as our tithe, which is $170. Then the offering, it's $85. So with the expenses, how I got these numbers is based on my bill tracker. The bill tracker is right over here. This has helped us so much get organized, especially now that we are on a variable income. This allows me to, if I wanted to set money aside for the week ahead, we can do that because I can see what the breakdown is, and I highlight when I know I have to have that total amount set aside in our bank account so that way we can pay that bill. So with this bill tracker, you just take your total expense amount and you divide it up by the number of pays that you have left before the due date. So let me repeat that in case I didn't explain it properly. You take your total bill amount for whatever category. So in this case, this first line is our rent. It's due on the first of the month. So we know that we have to have that total amount set aside in our bank account, meaning we leave it there by the last day of the month. So, or the last paycheck of this month so that we can pay it for February. So this bill tracker, yes, is January's bill tracker, but we are planning for the upcoming month because we've already paid January's rent from December's bill tracker. So our last pay of the month is on January the 30th. So I highlighted that so that I know we have to have enough money in our bank account to cover that bill because all of our bills are on auto debit. I have it scheduled on the due date. It will be taken from our bank account. So what you do, you take that number and I divided it by 4 because there are 4 paydays that I receive income to cover these bills. Okay, so I hope I explained that correctly. So I went down this column and I just checked off all of the bills that we are going to be paying from the 9th payday. But as you see here, we are covering one bill item for from the 15th because I just wanted to be a little bit ahead when it comes to our paydays because we are on a variable income. So you can totally do that. Do whatever makes sense for you, but this is what we did here. So I took those numbers, and I wrote it in on the expense section of our paycheck budget. So the total expenses from this comes to $576.98. So if we look at the percentage formula, I wrote in here the goal for the expenses is to have 70% set aside for anything that leaves our bank account, anything that leaves our categories, because right now we are not cash spenders. But if you are, that would be for your daily spending, your daily cash envelopes. So in our case, $1,188 is what is our goal amount for our expenses, what we want to pay out. So down here, we've allotted $576 of that to bills. So we already have to deduct from the $1,188, we have to subtract the $576 so that we can reference back to that percentage to be within our goal. Now we have a remaining balance of $865, but we still have other categories that we have to budget out for, and that's what this is up here. So what this is, these are funds that we plan out and we write up on our expense tracker. So let me actually show you that real quick. So I'm going to take these trackers because I haven't showed this in prior videos. So I have my expense tracker right here, and this is where I put in all of our receipts in these envelopes, and then we write in so let me flip to groceries. So I budget out from this paycheck $95 for groceries, so I wrote it up in there, and then I am just going to use this as my log so that way we can be on track with our expenses, and I just keep the receipts right in here. So I do that for spending as well, so you guys can see that we have both my husband and mine spending money. My husband, he has a personal trainer that we do withdraw cash for, so that's $150 that we are setting aside based on what I wrote in our tracker here. $75 he pays him bi-weekly, so we just set $75 for each of those, split it up for each of those weeks. So the total category section comes to $365. So if I'm gonna pull up the calculator here. So $365 plus the $576 $941.98. So $941.98 is what we are budgeting out for all of our spending. So we are under budget from this total by $246. So that's what I mean by you don't necessarily have to, use this and be strict and put it all to spending. No, you can reach your goals faster if you just use this as a guide. So I don't want to spend more than that, or it would be nice not to spend more than what this percentage amount is. Whether you budget 80% or 70% or 60%, whatever that is, you don't necessarily have to reach that expense total if you don't want to. All right, so the remaining amount that we still have to budget for is $500 with 89 cents. And we do have some sinking funds goals. So I've gotten requested to do a video of breaking down our sinking funds. Let me know in the comments if you do want to see a video like that. I'm honestly just using the sinking fund tracker from the Budget Mom. So you can head over to her blog and print that out. But I just wrote in specific sinking funds that we are working to reach a specific goal. So yeah, let me know in the comments if you want, a breakdown of our sinking funds. I guess that would be helpful for many of you. So these are the sinking funds that we are setting aside from this paycheck. And that is anniversary, because our anniversary is coming up September this year. We'd like to have something to do for spending for anniversary. And now is the perfect time to start saving for Christmas. If you have not already created a plan of how much that you want to spend, look over your prior month, because it's last month, it was Christmas. Look over your Christmas spending, go through your bank accounts, maybe highlight all of the transactions that you made for holiday category, whether it be, include your food, include the decorations, all of that. Include that as part of that holiday category, so that way you can know, okay, this is how much you spend for Christmas. So we did very well on our budget. We actually went a little bit below budget. So we're just going to stick to that same plan for this Christmas. And we're setting aside $22 for our Christmas fund. Both my husband and my birthday fall in March, so we're setting money aside for that. I am turning 30. So that's why I am setting aside more for me, because we would like to do something for my birthday. I don't know what yet, but we're planning it out. And then we're setting funds for our pet, because we want to take them to the groomers. They actually just went to the groomers, and that's why we did budget out, but it was less than that. So it's nice to have a little extra. And then we have a vacation that we are planning out actually this coming week. So we did want to make sure that we pull money and have it specific for vacation spending. Any activity that we want to do, we probably can't do very much because of, the virus and all that and safety, but we do want to have funds set aside for that. So that's why we are budgeting out $200. So in total, sinking funds comes to $342. So again, we reference back our percentage formula where the goal amount was 15% of our income, and that comes to $255. But remember, we fell below our expense percentage by about $200. So we can take that and apply it to other goals. So that's why I want to stress, you don't necessarily have to totally focus on the percentage when it comes to expenses. Just make it a goal. Try not to reach that amount or go over that amount that you budgeted out for the percentage formula. So with that, we have two other savings items that are on here. One of them is my husband's retirement. And the next savings category that's under here is emergency. And we're setting aside $98.89, which is to make it a zero-based budget, because you want to make sure that you're giving every single dollar a job. And that is super, super important for you to, be in control of your finances and not have your finances control you. When you have a zero-based budget, you're telling your money where to go, right? So we are now at a zero-based budget, and we are contributing to emergency fund because we used a part of our emergency fund. A big chunk of our emergency fund and honestly, it wasn't an emergency. So I am working on filming a video. It's going to be a bit different, but in case you guys are wondering why did we do this, then definitely make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell. That way you're notified when I do upload that video. My husband will be featured in that video because it was essentially his decision, and I agreed to it. I felt confident with his whole thought on utilizing our savings. So now we are working back on baby step number 3, which is establishing at least 3 to 6 months worth of expenses saved in an emergency savings where you just don't touch it. We are currently working to save 6 months of our expenses. So I can update you guys on that. More is to come, but that is everything for today's paycheck budget video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you found some insight and that you can do what works for your family. It doesn't have to be complicated. It just needs to make sense to you and your family. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in a brand new video. Bye guys.